total best case scenario weekend for Iowa State, total worst case scenario weekend for K-State. I'm not sure that everybody understands fully the implications and the build up to what happened on Saturday and how crazy it is that one possession basically determines ecstasy and agony. And I know that's in general true for a win and a loss, but there's more baked into this one. And it is something the rest of the Big 12 should pay attention to because it's a part of the reality of revenue sharing and where the Big 12 is financially right now. Okay. So this game is in Ireland. And I think it's easy to look at it and be like, oh yeah, okay, cool. They're playing a conference game in Ireland, whatever. And not think about, well, wait, who gave up a home game in this? Well, the answer to that is K-State. K-State gave up a home game. And when this was announced a couple of years ago, there was some real heat from K-State fans, and understandably so. I mean, you can see the upside, but you can understand the downside. The downside, obviously, you're like, well, man, we're giving up a home game, taking a game away from the local economy, but even more so than that, just you're taking one of the few opportunities the fans have to go and see you play one of your rivals, like Iowa State. Think about this for K-State fans. The Iowa State game's already been taken off the schedule in 27, which more on that. Brett Yormark got asked about that, and we have, I think, some news on that front. But that's a game that's not going to happen for a while in Manhattan. You took a game away from the fans getting a chance to see that. And the last time that K-State played Iowa State in Manhattan was 2023 when there was so much snow in the Snowmageddon game. The crowd couldn't really, it was there weren't as many people there because it was hard to get to. K-State was already out of the Big 12 title race. You didn't have so it's been a while, man. You're going to go a long time without getting a full throat, legit crowd at Bill Snyder Family Stadium. So the fans were not thrilled with this, right? But you could also see the upside. Get a chance to have everybody watching you. Go search Avery Johnson on Twitter. Well, maybe not the greatest idea at this moment in time. If you could have done it at about 3 o'clock, right after the game ended, you would have seen a lot of people talking about Avery Johnson. The point being, you got your brand, your team in front of a ton of eyeballs. If you win the game, if you play well, if he shows out, that's great branding that you can't get anywhere else. We'll see what the TV number is going to be, but if it's anywhere near the 5 million that North Carolina, or rather that Florida State and Georgia Tech did last year, crazy good number for a Big 12 game. You get more eyeballs on your product. You also get a really cool trip for your fans and players, and you get a couple extra $1 million. The reporting at the time this game happened was that K-State was expecting to get around $2 million extra dollars from what they get for a home game. And that is the part where I say this relates to everybody. I mean, almost every Big 12 athletic department right now is sweating it out. How do we pay for all this revenue sharing stuff? How do we get $20 million? Well, if you can get $2 million extra dollars to do this while trying to elevate your brand, sometimes you'll do it. Now, K-State fans, if you want to direct your ire somewhere, it looks like you could direct it a bunch of places, because before the game, Gene Taylor told a story to a national reporter about, hey, Chris Kleiman, he didn't think would ever do it, but he mentioned it to him, and Kleiman eventually decided to do it. So if you're going by that story, you could put the blame multiple places. Either way, they did it, and instead it turned into a nightmare scenario for K-State, because now, I mean, you gave up a home game, and look at the way that game played out. Now, who knows if it were a home game still on the Big 12 schedule, it probably is played in November. So who knows what those teams are by then and how it looks and all that. But if they're really that evenly matched in a game like that, the home crowd matters a whole hell of a lot to help get you over the hump, to help stem the tide when things aren't going well. That home crowd really matters, okay? Especially in a rivalry game where these two sides hate each other as much as they do right now. That's a killer, man. If you would have had that exact same game playing out the way that it was, but it was in Manhattan at Bill Snyder Family Stadium, I mean, I think you've got a much better chance of winning it, just to help limit some of those stakes, force Iowa State into a couple more mistakes, especially in the first half when things were a little sloppier. Maybe you take advantage of some of the opportunities. K-State with 4 drives in the middle portion of that game, second and third quarter, into Iowa State territory that wound up with 0 points. Maybe that doesn't happen. Now you lost that opportunity. You lost the game. I mentioned you're not going to get an opportunity like that against Iowa State in your home field for a long time. And then Iowa State gets to go take, hey, sweet, our fans get to go take this awesome trip to Ireland. They show out too on national TV. Both fan bases did. Then they win. they avoid having to go to Manhattan, and now they've got arguably the toughest game on their schedule out of the way with a win in their back pocket, and they get to go back home happy. Like, that's brutal, man. College football season is here, guys, and that means we all need to find good deals on tickets, all right? And the best place to do that is SeatGeek. Have to give a huge shout out to SeatGeek, the sponsor of today's video. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. There are over 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek. So obviously, college football is covered, but if you're a music guy like me, it's perfect for concerts. I'm buying a ton of concert tickets this fall. And I tell you what, I have my eye on those Holy War tickets for BYU and Utah coming up as well. And man, all you got to do is open up the app. It's perfect. You can go check what's going on here, find the green dots in the seat. That means they're good deals. Red dots, maybe not so much, but SeatGeek will help you find the best deals on seats depending on where it is that you are trying to sit. They're each rated on a scale of 1 to 10. Every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. And you guys know I'm here for you. I've got a code for you. Code Kurtz gets you $20 off your tickets. Again, that's code Kurtz for $20 off tickets at SeatGeek. $20 off your first purchase with promo code Kurtz. Make sure you just click the link in the description to download the app and have that code on hand and ready to go. Guys, I'm here to help you out. I've got your back. Hit up my friends at SeatGeek. It's a brutal thing for K-State. And it's a terrific thing for Iowa State. I mean, on the other hand, I will just say this. If we're thinking about how do other Big 12 contenders view the result of this game and what happened, you would say, well, regardless of whether or not you think Iowa State played well or if that's appropriate to be a reflection of their team this early in the season in adverse conditions, they just beat one of the other contenders to get that game out of the way, and they avoid Baylor, they avoid Texas Tech, they avoid Utah on their conference schedule. They do have Arizona State, right? That could be a Big 12 game of the year. They've got Arizona State, they've got TCU, they've got Kansas. Like I said, don't sleep on that. They've got Kansas. But with that schedule, at least as of right now, without knowing much about what these teams will be, and it was a fool's errand to try and do this at this time last year, but it does look like they've got a pretty manageable schedule, and they got a big one out of the way. So I think you got to say, if you're another contender, you're just like, hey, dude, they're going to be around. Now, I see the comment here from SibBase, BYU erasure. I need to see what BYU is going to be, man. You got a true freshman quarterback starting for the game one for the first time in school history. Like, I think it's fair to hey, yes, BYU is on Iowa State's schedule. Okay. I will mention that, but I don't really know what BYU is right now. I really don't. So we'll wait and see. I mean, I'm optimistic. I hope Bear Bachmeier is awesome. You know, basically, I'm really rooting for that. Certainly this week, I'm rooting for that to see what that looks like. But point being, Iowa State should absolutely be considered right in there now. And then, you know, I mean, if you're talking about what the weekend was like for K-State fans, you also have Kansas showing off its new stadium, which looked fantastic. The team looked fantastic. It's on Big Boy Fox to cap off the day right after your loss. And then obviously, just a lot of drama, a lot of stuff happening off the field, man. I'm not going to belabor the point or spend too much time on it, but you know what happened with the father of QB1 and brother of QB1, not a good look. Not something that brings good attention to anything, just like insult to injury after the game. And yeah, you know, you add all that up, it worked out about as well as it possibly could have for Iowa State fans. I'm not sure that Iowa State fans could have come out of that feeling much better at all. So, you know, if you're into the Schadenfreude thing, you know, the pain of your enemy or whatever, a lot of that to be had. And that, my friends, is college football. Remember when I said that this was all just like a great representation of college football? What happened in week 0 in the Big 12? That's a big part of it. That is a big part of it.